What's up, bitches? We're back. Let's get this shit show going. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are back here on Birds, Beers, and BS here on the AAT Sports Network. We are your hosts, Pina, alongside myself, Eagle Jeff Warner, and we're glad to be back. It's been a very long time. We apologize for the infrequent episodes of Birds, Beers, and BS. Sorry, summer.
Yeah, too much
vacation,
beer and BS.
work, whatever.
Yeah.
It's been a busy couple of months, but we're happy to be back, and a lot to get into.
Too much.
We have missed a lot over the last couple months. Look, the Eagles' schedule was released. We'll dive into that a little bit, give you our early win total predictions for the Philadelphia Eagles 2022 season. The Eagles also made a big signing over the last couple months to help solidify the defense. We'll dive into that a little bit later on as well. And, of course, Eagles OTAs are underway. We'll give you our thoughts on the latest dilemma when it comes to Nick Sirianni's philosophy when it comes to the OTAs. But first, we would like to thank our sponsors here on the AAT Sports Network. First, we would like to thank our sponsors, Stuff to the Grills. They are located in Allentown, off of Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. Unfortunately, right now they are closed for renovations for the next 4 to 6 weeks, but that does not mean you can't get their phenomenal and delicious food. They are available for catering. So, look, Father's Day's next week. There's graduation parties right now. 4th of July picnics. So, look, there's plenty of opportunity to get the delicious food at Stuff the Grills in Allentown. You can give them a call at 484-274-6760 or visit their website, stufftothegrills.com. And look, delicious food. I just had, me and my wife had some a couple weeks ago, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So, again, make sure to check out Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. Again, stufftothegrills.com or 484-274-6760 to get for all your catering and party needs.
Yeah, tell them we sent you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we'd like to thank our friends at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in off Iroquois Trail in Allentown as well. They are available for order or takeout or delivery at 610-395-2300 or visit vinnyspizzapa.com. They have game day specials, daily specials, weekly specials, pizza, subs, sandwiches, appetizers, and it's a fun family atmosphere. So look, if it's a nice day out, you want to take the family out for dinner, visit Vinny's Pizza. They'll treat you like family, and again, their food is absolutely delicious as well. And then we'd like to also thank our friends. Too many freaking sponsors and too many things to click. I'd like to thank our friends, Statement Games. You can visit their website at statementgames.com for a fun, free twist on fantasy sports. Make sure to check them out. They are absolutely phenomenal and great way to win some free prizes. So definitely check them out at statementgames.com.
For sure.
Look, Pina, it's been a long time coming. We haven't been here in a couple weeks.
It turned into another team.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole different team now.
Whole different team. And look, the first thing is Eagles OTAs, like I said before, is underway.
Yeah.
And the Eagles are catching a little bit of buzz. Look, and it's not just what's happening on the practice field. Look, it's practice from what the media, the Eagles are limiting media access in these OTAs. And from what I've read and heard, they're only allowing two OTAs for the Eagles media to see their practice. And from the looks of it, Jalen Hurts, he's looking like a different quarterback. He's gaining that chemistry and
the mechanics.
Mechanics, and he's building that repertoire with his wide receivers, with A.J. Brown, with Devontae Smith. There are a few concerning things, though, when it comes to the Eagles OTAs. First off, the one thing I'm a little worried about is Fletcher Cox.
Okay.
The fact that he decided, granted, OTAs are voluntary.
Right.
You are not required to be in attendance, but you would think for a relatively somewhat new team, you have a lot of new pieces on both sides of the football. Second year with Nick Sirianni at the helm.
Right.
And you would think for a veteran, a guy that's supposed to be a leader in the locker room and a veteran on this team, you would think he would be out there a little bit more. You think he would have made it a priority for him to come to OTAs, give that leadership, to have that guidance for the new guys like Jordan Davis. So I don't know if I'm just being over analytical or over
if you're overthinking
the situation. Exactly. Or is Fletcher Cox for a guy that they just released and signed and gave 15 million?
15 million.
You would think he would make a priority to come to OTAs and try to improve things. He's not like a third or fourth year veteran. He is the leader in that locker room and is supposed to be the leader on that defense.
I agree. Now, we don't know if he had any personal things going on. Do we, was that reported, or did he just say, fuck it, I'm not coming?
I'm not entirely sure.
I don't think it's as big of a deal now, but I could see why people would see that. But yeah, you would think if for someone that's trying to improve in this defense, he would show up and show out. But yeah, he didn't show up. It's the OTAs. It's not even July yet, so I didn't read too much into it. I figured he's an older veteran. Who knows if Sirianni let the older veterans, because Kelsey wasn't there either, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He showed up for a little bit more than what Fletcher Cox did.
Gotcha. So you're taking it as he should have been there. He should have been a vocal person in that locker room, the defensive locker room.
Well, he should have just been there because he's the longest tenured player, I think, besides Kelsey
and Graham.
Yeah, in that locker room. He's supposed to be he's getting paid the big money. He's supposed to be that leader, and you would think for a veteran like Fletcher Cox, the showcase the young guys, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, and the rest of these rookies and these young players, you would think he would lead by example. And that's one thing Nick Sirianni has tried to instill in his players. You need to lead by example. And granted, we don't know the circumstance. Like you said, we don't know if he was out for any specific reason, but I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. Cox should be there.
This ain't a Super Bowl winning team. This ain't a Super Bowl contending team. You need all the practices that you can get. And,
I agree.
And that brings to the next issue when it comes to the Eagles OTAs right now. The fact that, look, the NFL maximum amount of practices you're allowed to have for OTAs is 10 practices.
Correct.
And Nick Sirianni decided that 6 is all he needs. And the fact they're a little bit relaxed. They're not. Their OTAs are not as physical. They're not like training camp practices.
They're like walkthroughs and yeah. I get
There's a few things here and there, but it's not like they're padding up every single day.
Right.
So you would think for a team that was 9-6-1 or 9 whatever the hell or
mediocre.
Mediocre last season.
Yeah.
You would think that they would get as much practice opportunity as possible.
I agree.
And the fact that he's being lackadaisical, whatever that, if I'm saying correctly, sorry, Jenna.
I don't think it's
another Jeffism if I'm saying it wrong. You would think.
Google that. I want to see if that's actually a word.
You would think that you would instill again.
Yeah.
That what's the word I'm looking for?
What do you mean, like the chemistry?
But I'll say the discipline. There you go. The discipline your players that look. This is our job.
Yeah.
This ain't a hobby.
No.
If we weren't a bad team, we weren't the greatest team in the NFL last season.
No, not even
There's
close.
a reason. When the fact that we got demolished against Tampa Bay just knock them down a notch.
It humbled us. It should have humbled you.
Yeah.
Why?
Look, it showed where this team actually was. And granted, we made additions. We added A.J. Brown. We add James Bradberry, which we'll get into in a few moments. They made improvements. But
they've
again,
gotten better players, but the improvement is yet to be seen.
Exactly. And the only way through that is practice. And I might be overreacting a little bit because I know some people feel, look, it's OTAs, it's not training camp.
Right.
They're still trying to find their groove. They're still just trying to instill and figure out the chemistry between the offense and the defense. And I get all that, which if you have the opportunity for four more practices, why aren't you installing those practices? Which is kind of concerning from a fan standpoint, is why is Nick Sirianni being this?
You think he's being too soft?
He's being too conservative with his players. And I understand you don't want to risk injury this early in the season in OTAs, but
do you think sports analytics is starting to creep too much into the coaching aspect of the job?
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
It started with fucking Chip Kelly.
Yeah, you're right. Because I feel like, because I remember listening to his explanation of why they were doing this. He got into the whole sports science, the sports analytics of the situation, and the mileage of what players can do, which to me sounds like a whole bunch of shit, if for lack of a better term. But I think we're in a new age of football now. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the old days. And I think the team is banking on better players basically overcoming the shortness of practices. So if you have an A.J. Brown, if you have a Devontae Smith, in your mind, you're like, these people don't necessarily need all these practices. Their athleticism.
I don't care.
I don't care.
New pieces, a still relatively unproven quarterback, and a huge contract year for him, essentially. Whether you need to know if he's your franchise quarterback or not, and giving him no excuses with wideouts like Devontae Smith and like A.J. Brown, and then adding some big pieces on the defensive side of the football with Jordan Davis and Kobe Dean.
Yeah.
Look. We're drastically improved, and I want to make sure that this team is improving day in and day out, because we got our asses handed to us in that last game against Tampa Bay. That left a sour taste, and as a fan, in our mouths. I wonder how. I want to see that from the players. I want to see how they respond to that, and by them missing practices or not showing up to voluntary camp. And look, I understand Quez Watkins. Apparently, he had a kids camp, and that's all nice and dandy. Don't plan your kids camp for the kids football camp
during
around OTAs. And I understand, like, look, a lot goes into those type of events. You have to book practice fields, see when they're available, and just hop on the dates or whatever. I understand that, but you being a football player is not a hobby.
No.
This is their livelihood.
This
is their profession. If me and you don't show up to work, we're getting our asses chewed out and possibly fired.
Facts.
And I understand these are voluntary practices, but you would think as a professional and as a competitor, you would want to do anything in your ability to make sure you are there to get better and make sure your team gets better, especially if you're a veteran on this team with a lot of new young prospects that are now on the team.
I agree. I definitely agree. But I mean, Andy Reid used to do that too with his older players. He used to let them off the hook sometimes with these OTAs. So I don't know what kind of agreement Sirianni has with the players, but maybe that's what he's got going on. You know, if you're over the age of 30 or something, you don't have to show up or something.
Fuck that. And Andy Reid,
Jeff rules with an iron fist.
Andy Reid brought a winning atmosphere to the city of Philadelphia. We do not have that just yet. They overachieved last season, absolutely.
We got lucky. The NFC East was terrible. The NFC as a whole wasn't great, so we got lucky. That's another thing that scares me about this team is like the coaching aspect of it. Like these small decisions, they all add up. And I feel like if Nick Sirianni is going to be soft now, what's going to happen when the shit hits the fan? You know what I'm saying? And these sports analytics and sports science and all these different doctrines that are allowed into the NFL, it changes the game. It's almost a completely different game now. Excuse me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's OTAs. It's early. I'm not going to overreact. I'm just going to take it for what it is for right now. We'll see what happens during the summer. We'll see what happens during preseason, and we'll take it from there.
And it just brings brings us somewhat full circle to last season. Is Nick Sirianni the guy? What's with his philosophy and thinking that you can cut practices? And then we finally realized this past OTAs when the coaches have spoken that apparently offensive coordinator Nick or not Nick Steichen, what the fuck's his name? Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen was the one actually calling the plays towards the second half of the season. And he split play calling duties with Nick Sirianni. So You saw a major difference after that Giants game.
Yeah.
What the Eagles offense was able to do. It wasn't so predictable and
it was productive for once.
Exactly.
We won a couple games
and the play calling made sense. We weren't running on 3rd and 10 to try to be smarter than the opposing defense to try to pick up the first down.
Yeah.
The play calling was not expected, but it made sense. You kind of expected that the Eagles would try to make that play call to pick up the first down, and you saw what the offense was able to do. So that was the one thing that we learned with Nick Sirianni when he was with the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
Is he got criticized and ridiculed by that fan base because of his ability of play or from his non-ability for play calling experience.
Yeah.
And we finally saw that. Look, maybe Nick Sirianni needs to take less on his play. I understand as a head coach, you want to have full control of your team. You want to be total hands-on.
Right.
But maybe you just need to believe in your coaching staff. That's why you hired them.
Yeah.
For them to be there and believe in them that they're going to make the right decisions for your players and for your team to have success.
So do you have a problem with him relinquishing the offensive play calls?
I don't have a problem with it. I hope that continues, and I hope we're able to build upon that because I felt the Eagles offense as a whole was more productive. It felt like a completely different team.
It was a different team.
And talking last season, as the season moved on, we kind of saw that. We kind of felt that. We kind of knew something was up, and we all thought it was Nick Sirianni at the time.
Yeah.
Because he said he was handling play calling duties. So we saw, hey, we thought, hey, maybe he finally the light bulb turned on and something clicked in his head. He's like, look, we need to start doing better with this or better with that or take this away. This ain't working or this and that. But it ended up being Steichen.
Yeah,
which is great because he has that play calling ability. He has that experience.
But here's where I disagree with you. Like when we got Nick Sirianni, I was under the impression we have a new young, gifted, genius-minded coach like McVay or something. So it almost feels like the reason why Sirianni is there is because he plays. And I'm sorry, Nick Sirianni. So he plays the puppet. And he does exactly what the office wants done. If he's going to pass the play call into the offensive coordinator, and that's a completely different team now, then why isn't that guy the coach? I don't agree with
because Sirianni. He's still going to have control of the game plan. He's one that's still going to be.
He's writing up the plays and shit.
He's still developing what their game plan is for the upcoming week against the opponent. He's still breaking down the tape and trying to find the mismatches, and he's sort of giving that to Steichen.
Okay.
To where Sirianni's still gonna have control. He's still gonna have the final say.
Yeah.
He's still gonna have the down by down decisions.
Right.
When it comes to in-game decisions as the head coach.
Yeah.
He's just giving a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more responsibility
to the offensive coordinator,
to Steichen, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah, well,
the fact that we have A.J. Brown now and Devontae Smith, we have the playmakers, we have Quez Watkins and Pascal, who's been solidified himself as a slot wide receiver in this league. So we have the depth of the wide receiver position. We're hoping Goddard can be that guy that can step up as the tight end that we expect him to be and fill in that void that when Ertz left. Or that when Ertz was here, what we had with Ertz.
Yeah.
And look, Goddard, he's played well over the last couple seasons. So I just want him to take that next level. I want him to become that difference maker at the tight end position.
Don't forget, J-Jaw is now a tight end, baby.
Fuck J-Jaw.
That blocking motherfucker, he's going to be a beast. You watch.
Fuck J-Jaw. And look, we have one of the best offensive lines in football when healthy.
On paper.
And Miles Sanders, look, he needs to step up his game, but he has the ability to do so. And I'm hoping now that we have a guy that I shouldn't say I have more confidence in, but from what we were able to see last year, I want this offense to build on that.
I agree.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. This is going to be a very interesting season for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're going to be watching it under a microscope. We're going to be dissecting and pinpointing and looking at every little thing because
we're gonna have to.
This is sort of the make or break season. I feel
for Sirianni,
for not just Sirianni, but for the organization as a whole and this team to see what type of direction this team is going to be going.
Yeah.
Is Jalen Hurts the answer? If not, what are you going to do if you decide to move on from Jalen Hurts? The fact that we're able to we're a little bit more of a desirable landing spot for quarterbacks, I feel now. The fact that we have a young wide receiver, DeSean Smith, and you have an all-pro wide receiver with A.J. Brown.
Agreed.
You have Goddard. You have a young running back, and you have a solidified offensive line and an offensive playmaker and head coach that showed that they can do something last year. So whether Jalen Hurts is the answer or not this after we learn this upcoming season, I feel we're still in a decent spot for the future for this organization.
No, I agree with that.
Hopefully.
No, I agree with that. Hopefully. I agree with that.
And they have some pieces on the defense side of the football.
The defensive side of the football is probably going to be the most interesting aspect of it, which brings us to
our next topic. Which,
look at that.
Well, look,
segue.
Decent segue. I'll give you a little props. It was about a C plus B minus segue.
I'll take the B minus.
There you go.
I'll take the B minus.
Look, we didn't get a chance to discuss this since we've been gone for so long. But the Eagles made a little bit of a splash late in the NFL free agency.
Yes, sir.
When they signed former Pro Bowl cornerback James Bradberry, former New York Giant James Bradberry, to the Philadelphia Eagles. And look, this just helps. We've been looking for that cornerback opposite of Darius Slay, and we were wondering what the Eagles were going to do to fill that void. And we were hoping they were going to get a veteran cornerback like James Bradberry, which they were able. So to sign him to a 1-year deal.
Prove-it deal.
Essentially a prove-it deal. Look, Bradberry didn't have the best season last year. But
he was on a shitty team,
though. It was with the New York Giants.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their defense was absolutely atrocious. But we know what this kid can do. The fact that he was a Pro Bowl quarterback, I believe, the year before. So he definitely has the potential. The 28-year-old lands in Philadelphia and slated to start with the Eagles. It's a perfect landing spot for the veteran who finished last season with 47 combined tackles, a career-high 4 interceptions, 17 pass defended, and 2 fumble recoveries. Prior to his 2 seasons in New York, Bradberry spent the first 4 seasons of his career in Carolina after being drafted by the Panthers as a second-round pick in the 2016 NFL Draft out of Stanford. So, look, he has the ability, and I feel he's a good complement to Darius Slay. Look, Darius Slay, he could be one of the best shutdown corners in the National Football League.
Yeah.
Now on the other side, they have that more physical cornerback that can jam the speedy wide receivers at the line, jam the physical wide receivers, and play physical ball to make sure that the quarterback cannot deliver that football to wide receivers.
Yeah. Who they going to throw to now? And we'll see.
And look, you look at some of the wide receiving tandems we have to go up this upcoming season, it's not going to be easy. So the fact that you're able to get a prove-it guy like him that can fit our scheme a lot better. He's physical. He's a ball hawk.
Yep.
He brings you a little bit of speed.
Yep.
And look, he fits that press coverage man-to-man system very well. That cover 2 scheme that Nick Gannon, or not Nick Gannon, that Jonathan Gannon likes to run.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's definitely an upgrade over what we have. And then you have Avonte Maddox, who has solidified himself as a decent slot corner. So ideally, we might have the best trio of cornerbacks. I'm not trying to get over. I'm not trying to get too far ahead.
I was going to say.
But look, we probably have the best trio of corners in the NFC East, if not probably at least the NFC.
Yeah.
On paper, look, Avonte Maddox, we can shit on him all we want.
I like Maddox.
He is not an outside cornerback, and he will never be an outside cornerback.
No.
And I think Gannon has realized that his bread and butter for Avonte Maddox is in the slot. And it showed last season with his production. You look at Pro Football Focus, you look at the All-22 film. You can break it down all you want. But Avonte Maddox was one of probably the best productive slot corners in all the National Football League last season.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That's his spot, is the slot. As for we're thin at safety, though. You know what I'm saying? We
are.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
look,
I'm wondering.
We hope that they were going to get Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, which they did not.
They did not.
Look, we're definitely weak at the safety position right now. You have Anthony Harris, who they brought back on a 1-year deal in free agency, and then you have Marcus Epps and Kayvon Wallace, who, as a 4th-round pick,
Marcus Epps showed some flashes.
He showed some flashes, but look. He is what he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a special team guy. He's a guy that can fill in. He can be that third safety in certain defensive packages.
Agreed.
But I do not believe in him as a three down safety, a guy that can play the pass and be that guy that can come up to the line of scrimmage and play against the run as well. He's not that hybrid type of safety that we had with Dawkins or Michael Lewis or Quentin Michael or some of these guys.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I feel he can be a productive player and a productive starter in this league.
Right.
But I want that difference maker.
Yeah.
I want that guy that can come in here and make a difference for this defense. Something we have been missing at the safety position since Doc and Malcolm Jenkins.
Yep.
Those are two guys that have been that in this franchise's history that have shown you that they can be difference makers and leaders for this defense. And right now,
we don't have that.
We don't have that in the back in our defense. But look.
But if the
Rome wasn't built in a day. We keep on saying that all offseason long. This team can't be built in one offseason. It's going to take time. Remember, we still have 2 first-round picks next season. We're going to have some money next offseason.
Yep.
The fact that they're getting these pieces in place now, hopefully, maybe not next year, maybe they can make a little bit of a playoff run, but hopefully building the blocks up for this team and for this organization to be that Super Bowl team. And the one thing about this organization that I have to give Jeffrey Lurie a lot of credit and Howie Roseman a lot of credit.
Say that again.
When they are down, they get right back up.
Yep.
This ain't a team like the Detroit Lions, like the Miami Dolphins, like the Cleveland Browns, where they might be good for one season and then they are fucking dog shit for the next 5, 10, 15 years. This is a team that I always have faith as a fan that they can be competitive and they somewhat have a chance. There's barely any seasons over the last decade I have really felt that this team has no chance of being a competitive football team. Maybe 1 year or 2.
Yeah, there's been a year or 2 here and there. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But even after the 4-12-1 or losing years, they always come back stronger with a plan and somehow find a way to be competitive. But I want this team to be more than competitive. Once we got that Super Bowl, once we got that ring, once we got that Lombardi trophy, we got the taste of it. And I want this team to be back in that form. It might have been a fluke. I don't fucking care.
I'll take the fluke.
I am salvaging at the mouth
for another one.
for another Super Bowl. So look, I am confident right now in where this team is right now, that they are finally making the right decisions and they're building this team where it needs to be. And the one thing that we still need to figure out, which hopefully this upcoming season we finally get the answer, is the quarterback position. That is all we are going to be talking about this upcoming year and dissecting Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. Not a football player, not a playmaker, but a quarterback. I want to see how Jalen Hurts is progressing as a quarterback, throwing the football, his mechanics, his delivery, his release, his going through the motions. I want to see what Jalen Hurts has to offer, because we know what Jalen Hurts can do with his legs. We know what he can do in the pocket, scrambling around trying to extend plays. I want to see the arm strength. I want to see the accuracy. I want to see the chemistry with his young wide receivers. And from what I've been hearing, he has been looking impressive. He is working his ass off for what I've been hearing. And I'm hoping that translates to game day on the football field and success and wins.
I'll tell you what, man, having those 2 first-round picks with him doing great, that would be a wonderful situation, and not have to use those 2 first-round picks to gut up to get that quarterback. So, yeah, I agree with you, man. And everyone's saying the mechanics is looking good. He was training with the guy that trained, what was it, Tom Brady's trainer or whatever. I forget the name of the guy or whatever. He's putting in the work. So let's see if it translates on the field. The problem is I figured the mechanics he'd get down, but his thing is reading defenses. That's his biggest flaw. And I think that's something that's fixable if he decides to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Hopefully he comes out and he lights it up. And he has no excuse at this point. Just throw the ball to A.J. Brown or there's going to be someone open because they're going to have to double someone. So if you look at the scheme of things, he's going to have someone open. Maybe Goddard becomes the beast that he's supposed to be. Maybe Miles Sanders. Another problem I have with him is using the leg so much because what happened last year, he got injured. If you run more, you're more susceptible. Is that a word? Google that. You're more likely to get injured. So I want to see him develop as a pocket presence before anything else. I use your mind, not your legs as much. That's all. And then with that, I rest. Be smart about it, motherfucker.
But real quick, look, the schedule is out, and from the looks of it,
Super Bowl.
I wouldn't say Super Bowl, but I'm very hopeful on this upcoming season. Look, the Eagles kick off the year on the road, though, against the Detroit Lions. They come back home on a little bit of an extended week, Monday Night Football home opener against the Minnesota Vikings. Then they go back on the road to take on the Washington Commanders and Carson Wentz. The third week of the year. And look, they have the Jaguars, they have the Cardinals, the Cowboys, Steelers, Texans, the Commanders again, Colts, Packers, Titans, Giants, Bears, Cowboys, Saints, and then Giants to end the year on my birthday.
Nice.
So, look, right now, Vegas has, from what I looked up, currently the odds for win predictions right now for the Philadelphia Eagles is 8.5 wins. So, Peanut, I want your thoughts. Do you think it's over or under 8.5 for the Philadelphia Eagles at this point in time?
At this point in time,
I'm
going to say over. I'm definitely over. I have them at 10 wins. I think they're going to.
I have more than that.
I have them at 10 wins because I think. Look, when you have that many new pieces to a team, it takes time for certain players to acclimate. So, I have them at 10 wins respectively not because of the players or anything. Basically, the quarterback position is still a question. The coaching is still a question. So with that's where I have them at 10 wins flat.
Look, there's going to be games, and we could on paper, this is a very, very favorable schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I've seen them lose some shitty games,
and that's what I'm saying. Look, there's plenty of those games that the Eagles typically that they're supposed to lose that they win.
Yeah.
There's games that they're supposed to win that they end up dog shitting and not showing up. So look, you're gonna have those type of games, and of course, the traveling, the short weeks, the long weeks, bye weeks, all that's gonna factor in. So look, things are going to happen. But
what do you got them at?
I have them probably about 12 wins. Remember, there's 17 games. There's an extra game this year.
I know.
I have them at 12 wins right now.
So basically, they're gonna win the NFC East to you.
I feel right now that they are in good position and in the driver's seat to win the NFC East. I feel it's going to be them and the Cowboys again.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Unless Carson balls out and shows up to be MVP Carson.
He might.
For the Commanders, I have no faith in the New York Giants with Daniel Jones at the helm. I'm sorry. I have no faith in them.
That, Tommy? Your Giants.
But look, you look at a lot of the teams that they have this upcoming season are rebuilding teams. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everyone's thinking, you think with Big Ben and the guys that they have on that team, it's not the same team anymore. Look, they're a team that is on the rebuild with now Kenny Pickett as a rookie quarterback.
That's Bauer's guy right there.
The Houston Texans, they're fucking dog shit right now, and they're a team that they might surprise some people. But no Deshaun Watson anymore after they traded him to Cleveland Browns, who now he has 24 more accusations. We don't know if he's going to be playing this season.
His story does not have a happy ending.
No, it does not. Look, you have the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, they have Aaron Rodgers, but they have no more Devontae Adams.
Yeah, but they got Aaron Rodgers.
They have Aaron Rodgers. They have the Colts, who have an aging Matt Ryan at the helm. And they have Jonathan Taylor. But what else does that team really have? They're a team that is a question mark. The Tennessee Titans with now Tannehill Tannehill at the helm. Yeah, he could be a quality quarterback, but
no AJ Brown, baby.
No AJ Brown.
Sorry,
AJ Brown's been tearing them up. You have the shitty Chicago Bears, and then of course the Saints, who now have Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, whoever the hell's gonna be the quarterback. Which there could be a little bit of a swerve right now.
Okay.
I'll say the fact that Drew Brees is no longer with NBC.
Oh, okay.
And they still own the rights. So if Drew Brees decides that he wants to come back in the NFL, that could fuck us really over. But look,
you know what? I'd rather play Drew Brees now than like 5 years ago.
Well, absolutely.
Please come back.
But he's still Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And remember, we have their first-round pick, so that's a very critical game for Eagles fans, and we're going to be focusing on them all season as well. And, of course, you're the NFC East, so a division that's been not very competitive in the rest of the conference,
but within ourselves,
but over the conference in that last couple of years,
except for the Cowboys and us.
Granted, anything can happen. There could be injuries, there could be suspensions, there could be benchings, there could be firings. We don't know what's gonna happen. It's still June,
super early.
Training camp doesn't start for another month and a half, so a lot can happen. But right now, I'm feeling pretty.
You're feeling pretty good,
pretty giddy right now about this schedule, and look. This was a team that overachieved last season. This was a team that a lot of people gave barely any chance to be a competitive football team,
including myself,
with first-year Nick Sirianni and first-year starting quarterback Jalen Hurts. And they overproduced, they overachieved. And I'm hoping with the acquisitions and the pieces they have in place through free agency and through the draft that improve this football team, that they can take that next stride. And I have confidence right now in this organization to do that.
Yeah, you went from a Howie hater.
I'm still a little bit of a Howie hater.
You're practically blowing the guy every day.
No. It's one of those things you forgive, but you don't forget.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough.
And Howie, look, he fucked up, and who knows what this team could have where this team could have been if he didn't make those decisions, or they didn't have the falling out with Carson Wentz and with Doug Peterson.
But we wouldn't we wouldn't be in this situation if Howie had not made those moves. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you're right there, buddy.
Yeah, you're smoked, dude.
By smoke, I'm vaping now.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever, I'll just put it.
Still smoke. Breathing that shit in. I'm starting to fucking cough it up.
He's got fucking COVID. Anyways, I just feel like every move that he's made led us to this where we are now.
It led us to this, but who knows what could have happened if that all they had. We might have another Super Bowl by now.
You've seen what Carson Wentz became with other teams. Carson Wentz hit the ceiling. That was it. There was nothing left. So for him to draft Jalen Hurts when everyone thought it was a bad idea was actually a great fucking idea in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Who's
to say? Oh man, you just can't do it. You just can't join the dark side.
We'll see.
All right.
But with that, look, quick recap over the last month and a half, some of the big stuff that happened. We, again, apologize for being away as long as we were, but life came in the way.
Yeah.
We went on vacation.
Hell yeah, that shit was fun.
Great. I would say we went to an incredible wedding. Again, congratulations to Mark and Mindy on their
wedding.
Wedding, but I mean, getting married.
Yeah.
Finally doing it, Mark, after how long? About damn freaking time.
It is about time, bro.
So, again, congratulations to them. And thank you for everyone for tuning in to the Birds, Beers, and BS and all our shows here on the AT Sports Network. Again, make sure, like it says below, subscribe, follow, like, subscribe, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube,
share,
Instagram, share it out, tell your friends. We're trying to get our YouTube subscribers list up. Look, we're trying to get to 1,000. That's the ultimate goal right now.
Yeah.
Our current goal is to get to 1,000 sometime soon. So look,
we'll take 400 for now, though.
It's free to sign up. It's free to get a YouTube account. All you have to do is hit one button. You're helping support your friends. You're helping support a great sports network that is AT Sports Network, and all our guys behind the scenes on this on air. We're all doing a tremendous job. We're trying to build this to the next level, and we can't do that without you, the fans, and our listeners. So again, please help support the AT Sports Network, and you can also support us by checking out our AT Sports Network shop. Again, here's one of the designs right here you can get. We also have some brand new Eagles designs with the new logo E. I think Johnny put up one with Jalen Hurts and Randall Cunningham. So look,
Johnny be working.
There's tons of new and great designs for all Philadelphia fans, and then also designs to help support our shows. We have Chips and Drip on there. We have Birding Bridges. We have Across the Pitch, our soccer show that Mike and Dave do a tremendous job with. For all my Mexican
friends.
So look, again, help support the network, help support the program. It really goes a long way. Even if you're not interested, give it to someone or share it to someone that might be interested. The more viewers, the more people that can view our network, the better.
Yeah.
And it's all about word of mouth.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of great things on the horizon. Look, we're in the works of possibly bringing a guest. We mark it down your calendar now. It is official. We will be at Sports and Social in downtown Allentown.
Yeah.
Sunday, August 21st. Post-game show for the Eagles preseason game that evening. So, look, you can come watch the game with us and then help dissect it down with us. Watch us live if you can't be in attendance on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Mark it down.
We're going live,
we want a huge crowd, and we are in the works of possibly getting a special guest to accompany us live on location for that broadcast. So you do definitely not want to miss this. So again, August 21st, Sunday, August 21st, Sports and Social in downtown Allentown. So make sure to come on out for that.
Yeah, come have a beer with us.
Absolutely. And then we also like to thank our sponsors, Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. Again, they are closed currently for takeout orders or in-house orders. For the next 4 to 6 weeks, they are renovating to a new, improved, same location. They're staying there, but they're expanding their restaurant at the current moment. It's going to be even bigger and better than before. But in the meantime, you can make sure to hit them up at 484-274-6760 or visit stufftothegrills.com. They are available for catering orders. So look, Father's Day's next week. We have graduation parties right now for high school, college, whatever it may be. If you just want to throw a picnic, have some family over, sit around the fire, watch some sports. 4th of July is coming up. For any occasion that you may need, Stuff to the Grills is your answer, and they could be give them a call. They definitely help you out. They have a lot of great catering or catering selections, and they'll definitely make sure to help you out to fit any need that you might need for your upcoming party or event. So make sure to check out Stuff to the Grills. Again, stufftothegrills.com or 484-274-2760. Like to also thank our friends Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown. You can check them out at vinnyspizzapa.com for their full menu. You can give them a call at 610-395-2300. They are available for takeout or delivery. They have game day specials. They have weekly specials. They have daily specials. There's pizza, calzones, subs, sandwiches. They have it all. So again, make sure to check out Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown. Vinny's and Stuff to the Grills is both located in the Old Town Shopping Center off the Iroquois Trail in Allentown. So look, no offense to Pia, you're not going to the hood. I'll say so. When you think Allentown,
what the fuck? What the fuck was that? He said Allentown. He said no offense to Peter.
Look, I know you have some friends that live in downtown Allentown. So look, I just want to make sure it's not 7th Street Allentown. It's not PPL Center.
Oh my God.
It's technically it's by Coonsville, which ain't much better of a name. But again, we appreciate. Look, helps them again. Another way to support us is supporting our sponsors. So again, make sure to check out Stuff to the Grills and Vinny's Pizza PA.
Yep.
Like also thank our friends Symbol.com. Sign up using our promo code AET Sports. Oh. And then we like to thank our friends at StatementGames.com for a fun, free twist on fantasy sports. It's free to play, free to enter, a chance to win gift cards, prizes, and much more. Again, check them out at StatementGames.com and tell them the AT Sports Network sent you. We would greatly appreciate it. Yes. So, look, first show back in a couple months. It was
back, brother.
It was a little bit of a fucking train wreck, but look, we got through it, and we appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we hope you tune in again. Please. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing all our social media platforms, especially YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out our website, atsportsnetwork.com, for more coverage on all Philadelphia sports and more. Yeah. And make sure you're hitting that notification button anytime one of our shows goes. Anytime one of our shows goes live, you get the notification to your phone that we are live, and we always love listener participation on all our shows. Leave a comment, tell us your thoughts, ask a question. Look,
respond to Jeffrey's last comment.
We'll give you a shout out on the show. Yeah, exactly. sorry, any peeps in Allentown.
Peeps in Allentown. This is the shit show, y'all.
Fucking train wreck. But again, as we end all show, hopefully we'll be back maybe next week. We'll figure out maybe the following week. If we're not back next week, again, happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including ours, my stepdad Kermit, my dad Jeff, and all the fathers out there. Again, we appreciate all the fathers, hardworking dads that have raised us, and also and everyone across the United States and everywhere else.
Yeah.
So
well said.
Whatever. I just want to get the fuck out of here. But as we end every show here on Birds, Beers, and BS, drinking